welcome to Kapow Toys Presents. I'm your host Kingbat, and today we're going to be taking a look at Perfect Effect Kingbat, their replication of a rat bat, or a rough approximation of, to go in line with their Shadow Warriors and the upcoming Ejector and Rewinder. This guy was released both singularly recently and as a 2-pack with Ninja, aka Rosanna, and we're going to be taking a closer look at all 3 of his modes today, and I will do my best to take you through a step-by-step formation of him. Now we see him here in his Trident mode, wielded by Classics Megatron, much as he was in the promotional picks for it. And it is quite a difficult thing to actually get him into this position. The staff actually completely comes apart. It's 4 separate pieces, one of which is attached to the jet, 2 separate parts, and then the part with the tail end on, which is actually his head in bat and jet mode, which works really well to be able to slide in the fixed fists that Megatron has got and many of the Classics figures have got, so you haven't got to worry about anything like that. Unfortunately, Megatron's posability isn't the greatest around the wrist area. I would strongly recommend if you fix this to anybody, fix it to someone with articulated wrists, because without a wrist swivel, this is exceptionally difficult to do. Megatron even more so because of how tight it is all around this area here. But I thought, you know what, let's show it off with this guy. Fitting him was a problem, to say the least. The grip around here seems to be slightly fatter, as it is around here, than it is on other areas of the beam. You can kind of see these gripped areas. There is one around at the bottom as well. I'll show you that when I take him apart in a moment. These gripped areas are actually where you're supposed to place the hands, but to get it there you do have to force it over the black plastic, and it does scuff, which is not the greatest design idea. In all, the Trident actually looks really nice, though because of its size, it is ultimately too cumbersome to be wielded by any decent Classics figure, and due to its terrible weight balance in this end, you cannot wield it one-handedly, because all it takes is the slightest manoeuvre and you're going to come apart like that, and when you drop this guy, he breaks. I've done it. So let's take a closer look anyway at when we take him out. A Trident end. I mean, you can tell from the size of it, it's a massive Trident. Ooh, excuse me, dirty. Dirty thoughts, purple-ended Trident. Yeah, I mean, it is exceptionally long. There's just too many innuendos. It's a big Trident. It works well with the classic figures, but it just is so unwieldy. It's so encumbersome, it just doesn't really work. It looks really nice though. I'm just going to move this out of the way for the moment. I'll try and show you. So this all just attaches into separate pieces, nice and easy. And then here comes the fun. It's trying to manoeuvre this out without snapping it. It's probably going to move a lot easier now that I've actually got it in once. There we go. Let's get Megatron out of the way and see if we can pick up, well, yeah, you can't really pick up the detail unfortunately, around there it's scuffed up, but there's that hand grip I was talking about earlier. So there he is in the Trident mode, fully put back together again, and you can see there is a slight bend there. It's just, as I say, I'm just going to have to be very careful now because I have already broken it, but if I just put any sort of weight on it, you can see the joints starting to come apart. And that's really worrying. It's just these stubs are a little bit too short. They're not deep enough in there. It just doesn't feel secure. It doesn't feel like you can place that in a guy's hand and you're going to worry that it's actually going to come off. I mean, there you go. It doesn't really take too much effort. But overall, this mode is nice. It does what it's supposed to do. It does what it sets out to do. And we should provide a bloody great Trident. And it does look the part as well. Now we'll move into probably my favourite mode for them, because with it you remove the sword, which is epically nice. Beautiful that is. And that now becomes separate. Now that becomes just a separate piece that can be used for any classic figure again. I personally will be using it with our Big Bad Nemesis Prime, with the Shadow Warrior as well, and I just think it would just add something more to him. I mean, Nemesis Prime should always have a massive purple sword anyway. Unfortunately, the grip is somewhat tight on his hand. Strangely enough, without really forcing it in there, it sort of sticks out a little bit, but it does the job. That's the end of the sword, unfortunately. That's the only way it actually works with the figure, is in the trident mode. So he's going to stay with Nemesis Prime for the moment and keep off camera, so we don't have to worry about him. He's going to cast a nice shadow in the background there. And we'll take a closer look at Ratbat now as he goes into his jet mode. From the trident, these parts here, if I move that on so you can actually see what's going on. Again, we have to be very careful because I have broken this guy already. My ham-fistedness, or just that it's not very, I won't say that, it's not brilliantly put together. As you can see there, these parts are supposed to slide apart and they're just separating. The joint is just separate. Really? I'm going to be as positive as I can about this figure, but it's really difficult because it's just missing so much quality. That's a nice piece, the way that slides back in and locks back. It doesn't really, it normally locks back into place anyway. This is coming up for his jet mode now. We have two little tail fins at the back there. Oh yes, and on the underside we flip up a nice little undercarriage, lovely little inclusion actually. The feet of the bat mode actually make it part of the undercarriage as well. And we take the stave, we remove all 4 bits, all 3 bits I meant, and we take the head, and that becomes the cockpit. Now in the images it's slightly out like that. It fits as a the cockpit slightly better further back, but then you get that tail bit sticking out. It's this mode that I wish they'd kept just as Ratbat alone, if you know what I mean, because the bat mode's shocking. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen, and this mode still sort of gives you an idea of a bat, but in sort of, I don't know, in the jet mode. And there he is in his jet mode. That's it. That's all there is to him, I'm afraid to say. Oh, shaky, shaky. But you do get some really nice detail. It's sculpted wonderfully, all these areas, and the fact that it does still combine all the parts except for the sword. And you know, it does include these little wings. And I do like the fact that his head sticks out as well. I say you can basically make him the bat out of this. And this is how I'm going to store. This is how I'm going to keep him. It's in this mode that I'm going to keep him, because I just think he looks really good in this mode. He looks dangerous. It makes me think more of Ratbat than what this stupid piece of crap looks like in its bat mode. I can't pull punches with the bat mode, I'm sorry. It's utterly diabolical. It looks like a pear with bits stuck out the side of it. But this jet mode does the trick. This jet mode looks the part. It's nicely coloured, it's nicely detailed around the wings, the clear plastic just has obviously great light piping in it, but it just feels really nice. It looks really good, and the detailing on it is superb. I'm just going to put that down so you can have a closer look. We just move that back down there. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this mode, and the Trident mode as well does quite a lot of good things. And it's really a shame that they didn't manage to encompass either a decent bat mode, which they could have done quite easily, as I will show you when we get there. Either encompass a decent bat mode or just not damn well include it. Because you know what, if they'd have left it out, I would have been singing this thing's praises. I would have been saying, you know what, it's a really competent little jet that looks like a bat, and it's a great trident, and it comes with a massive sword. Oh, what more could you want from a figure? But no, we get lumbered with one of the ugliest damn things you're ever likely to see. They ever darken your Transformers shelf. Oh, let's get on. I'm getting my bile and my rage up for this. Now, you ready? You put that down. Take these poles out. Now, I have to be careful here because I've snapped one of these off. Yeah, snapped it. I literally lifted it out of the packet. Went to do this mode, and it snapped off in my hand. I was less than impressed. They come out. You're really not going to believe this. If you haven't seen the images of it, this will blow you away. This will blow you away. This will. Oh boy, will it. Oh boy, will this. This is actually the first time I've assembled it because it broke and I couldn't be arsed. Ready? And that's Kingbat in his bat mode. Yeah, because those bits don't join it. That's Kingbat in his daftly embarrassing bat mode. What's this? I don't get it. I just don't get it. There aren't words to express how disappointed I am by this. I thought, oh, there'd be a way to change it. Oh, perfectly confident, that's stupid. Yeah, they can. This is terrible. This is just one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. Transformers wise, oh, it's a real disappointment. Really, that's my biggest gripe. Is it's a disappointment. It's a letdown after the quality of the design aesthetic of the other figures they've released so far. Let alone the actual build quality, which I had problems with my Shadow Warrior, or my Shadow Demolitions, but I know a lot of people didn't. And this just, as I say, I snapped one of these because it's on a tiny point. You can see just about see the joints in there. And I thought it might come apart or twist. And I lifted it out, looked at it, pulled that part out and it snapped. Really bad QC. Or, I don't know if it's QC problem, it was me being heavy-handed, but I didn't think I was. And if these parts did rotate, or slotted up, or moved in some way, then you could use these as the wings. And if they were coming down from the side, and just have the guns in the back, it would look much better. Now, I personally wouldn't have included this mode. I would have just gone with the Jet and the Trident modes and said that was Kingbat, because this really does look hackneyed and tagged on. And he shouldn't look worse than his Generation 1 counterpart. He shouldn't look less of a bat than his Generation 1 counterpart. And he does. I mean, he has similarities. I mean, there's no denying that he has, these earpieces, the chest area, as well as is in a way reminiscent, but he just looks a mess, and it's a real shame because I should and feel like I could be singing this thing's praises. I could be singing it to high heaven, but what you end up with is wanting to do that and focus on the best part of it. As a Jet, he's grand. I like the Jet mode. As a Trident, he's good. Could have done with being a bit more stable, but you know what? It's not that bad. And for something that was completely out of the blue, it's actually, a really nicely done thing. But sadly for me, the best thing that came out of this was being able to get a Mama Jamma sword for my Nemesis Prime. But if you need a Rat Bat replacement, go and buy a G1 one. I'm sorry. Oh, I wish I had something positive to say to end this one. If you need a big sword, it's an expensive one, but you know what? It looks good. Anyway, I've been King Grumlock. That's been Perfect Effect Kingbat, and we will see you next time, guys.